Hi, it's John, and welcome to the channel. 5 o'clock in the morning, Wednesday, October the 22nd. I hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday morning. I tip my big blue mug of coffee to you. I tip it, got to be careful. It's pretty full. I don't want to tip it into my MacBook. Tasting oh so sweet this morning. Thank you for being here. I want to talk this morning about something that had conservatives incensed and really pissed off yesterday. And they made it clear on social media. And I almost ran to my camera yesterday to comment on it as well, but I didn't because I wanted to think about it a little bit. And I woke up with a different perspective this morning. I'm going to show you that in just a moment. I know the suspense is killing you. So what I want to do is ask you a question here. Now, I'm assuming you're probably a conservative. What is the thing that's holding Canada back the most? Okay? What's the thing that's holding Canada back? I'm not going to play the Jeopardy music. Think about it for a few seconds. I'm assuming that a large number of you said the Liberal Party of Canada. And I think for the most part, you're right, but I think we're missing something here. What's holding Canada back the most is the Liberal Party, but it's that they, Liberals, and the people who vote for them think that what they're doing is right. They think they can do no wrong, and they think everything that's happened in this country over the last 10 years has been just. And that's the real danger. What did I see yesterday? I saw this, and you probably saw this as well. Now this is, cover your screens with cellophane. I'm going to read this to you. Justin Trudeau. 10 years ago today, Canadians chose a more hopeful path. I'll never forget that night in 2015, the energy, the optimism, and the belief that together we could build a better future. A decade later, we've lifted hundreds of thousands of people out of poverty, strengthened and grown the middle class, built a $10 a day childcare system, led the fight against climate change, advanced reconciliation, and made Canada more inclusive and fair for everyone. I'm deeply grateful to everyone who's part of this journey and believed that better is always possible. Justin Trudeau believes everything he says here. So does everybody in the Liberal Party and everyone who voted Liberal. A decade later, hundreds of thousands of people haven't been lifted out of poverty. It's worse. The middle class is farther behind. $10 a day childcare has decimated the childcare system. The fight against climate change is holding my province back. It's holding the country back. Reconciliation isn't any further ahead. In fact, it's probably worse. And is Canada more inclusive and fair for everyone? I don't believe that at all. But as George Costanza said from Seinfeld, it's not a lie if you believe it, but they believe this. And that takes us to this guy. Now, Justin Trudeau, with everything he's done, and the Liberals have done over the last 10 years, I believe the Liberals think that they have to tear the country down to its roots in order to rebuild it in their image. But Justin Trudeau wasn't clever enough to get a lot of that done as much as he hurt the economy. But this guy is about as devious as it gets. And he's got a plan for a worldwide change in the system. And he's been telling us about this since he got into the campaign to be the leader of the Liberal Party. That's where he is in this video you're seeing right here. I'm going to play a short clip for you in just a moment. He laid it all out, and now he's laying out where we're going in the future. And we're going to find out on November 4th. So what did he say way back in the middle of January? I think this was January the 16th.
Old times, my friends, are over. Our times are anything but ordinary. The system, it's not working as it should. And it's not working as it could. People are anxious. No wonder. Too many are falling behind. Too many young people can't afford a home. Too many people can't find a doctor. And then we're living through the two biggest technological revolutions since they split the atom. And our climate is changing in ways that threatens livelihoods from Fort Mac to Fort Smith. And then on top of that, as George just mentioned, In just 4 days, the United States will swear in Donald Trump as their 47th president, a man who threatens economic force on his closest, most steadfast allies, including Canada. No.
You see what he did there? He laid all this out back the day he announced his candidacy for the Liberal Party leadership. And see what he did. This is just a short clip of a speech mid-January, worthy of an Academy Award. No doubt he stood in front of the mirror, all the pregnant pauses and everything for the best dramatic effect possible, and he bookended it. Old times are over. Donald Trump. He ended it with Donald Trump. The reason for all your problems here, not the Liberal Party, it's Donald Trump. That's what the people who vote Liberal think. More people voted against Donald Trump than voted for Mark Carney. The system's not working as it should, he said, because this guy's got a plan for a worldwide system, and he's going to lead the charge on this, and it's going to be your money paying for it, and you're going to suffer for this. He talks about technological advancements, 2 of them. AI and climate. And boy, are you going to get climate on November the 4th, folks. See, this is all normal to the Liberals. They believe what they're doing is right and just. And you're just coming along for the bumpy ride, folks. You know, your taxes are too high in Canada. They give you a little tax break and say you should be happy with it. See, you're doing better, aren't you? Your health care becomes insufficient and inefficient, but it's the best health care in the country. Nothing gets done about it. He mentioned it in that clip. What's considered a home now? A shipping container? A government-approved home? Why is the government in the housing business? This is all perfectly fine in the Liberal worldview. They believe this. Food prices. I said it a few weeks ago. Food prices are high. There was a story this week. They've gone up again. They're going to come down a little bit, folks. The Liberals are going to take credit and say this is normal, but it's not. They'll still be way too high. And, here's another one. Government funding the media. The Liberals are fine with that. That's normal. Listen, I was in the media business going back to the mid-'80s, and the people I worked with back then would be appalled that the government was funding the media. You can have no credibility when it comes to funding from the government if you're a media organization. This is all normal, and it's fine in the Liberal worldview. What's coming? What's coming? Investment. The investment is going to make you broke. Here is Mark Carney talking about the November 4th budget and all the investment. And what it is a hell of a lot of spending, and it's not normal.
This budget is generational. This will help define this country, the scale of investment to create hundreds of thousands of high-paying, high-skilled jobs for people who are listening to this program. If you're young and you want to go into the skilled trades, with our budget, we are going to create those jobs. But also to create a much stronger economy so that we can't be sideswiped by decisions south of the border, and that we are in control of our own destiny. And that is truly turning the corner. And that's not just turning the corner, if I can keep the metaphor, it's driving where we want to go. And that's what we're going to deliver.
I believe at least one thing he said there was correct. This is going to be a generational budget, but I think of it a little differently than him. It will bankrupt the next generation and the one after that, and the one after that, and the one after that. And he talks about high-paid, high-skilled jobs and how the government is investing in those things. That's just robbing you, taking your money and printing money. And certainly young people are going to love it because he's going to bribe them with your money to get votes in the next election. And since when is it the federal government's job to create jobs? That's not their job. Their job is to get out of the way and make it easier for companies to create jobs. But they don't do that because this is the new normal. This is what Liberals believe. They're rebuilding the economy and the system and giving you more socialism. And you don't think you're getting more socialism? Have you not been paying attention? You got a new office for online fraud. That came up a couple of weeks ago. We got all these intelligence agencies that already do that, probably employing thousands of people with the federal government. But we got a new office for that now. That was released a couple of weeks ago. You got a major projects office. It's located in my town here in Calgary where I live. A woman heads it up, no doubt hundreds of people working in that office. If the federal government just got out of the way, we could build major projects, but we got a new office for that. We got a new office for housing and government-approved houses. Since when is it the government's job to build freaking houses? We've got a housing industry that can do that far better, but he's going to invest in that, folks. And you got a federal school food program, no doubt, administered by hundreds of federal employees making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And what's coming next, folks? Well, how about the new Office for Youth Employment and Training? That's probably coming up in the budget. I'm just making this up, but can you see this not happening? The new Climate Office for Carbon Security and Net Zero, something like that, or the new Office for Sustenance, Groceries, and Nutrition, or something like that, because food prices are way too high in this country. And then we get stories like this. Government worries over potential election after Bloc conservative budget demands. I have a big feeling that the Bloc Québécois are going to get a lot of money in this budget because he needs the votes in Quebec, which will piss off Alberta even more. The Conservatives are asking for things, they'll get nothing. I mean, the Liberals aren't going to say much about Pierre Poilievre other than the fact that he wants to see Trudeau arrested and he thinks the RCMP is despicable. Expect that story to go on for weeks and weeks and weeks. God forbid if we should have an election, folks. Because the Liberals believe everything they've done is just and correct. Go back to that Justin Trudeau tweet. But so do the people who vote for Mark Carney. Do you really think if we had an election, soon the Conservatives would win? God forbid. If we had an election soon, the Liberals would likely get a majority in this country. Because Donald Trump is still out there, folks, and they need Donald Trump. When would we have an election? I was looking at it this morning. November 4th is the budget. There'll be a few days where they discuss it. They'll have a vote on it. If the government were to fall, 36 days is the shortest federal election we could have. I would figure that somewhere around December 16th, there might be a call for have an election. Because November 10th would probably be the day, Monday, November 10th, when they would have a vote on the budget. So 36 days after that would be December the 16th. Christmas time election. God forbid, folks. Because I don't trust the electorate. Like they say, never, ever underestimate the stupidity of the electorate. And I think a majority of Canadians would vote for the Liberals. Because all of this, folks, is perfectly normal. Tell me what you think. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. I'll see you in the next one.